this is Jenna.
And this is Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked. We are doing our last part of the book, 1984, by George Orwell. This is chapter 3, part 6. The very last part. We finally get to the end. We get to see what happens to Winston. So we left Winston off on the last part when he gave up Julia and said, no, just take Julia, because O'Brien was torturing poor Winston with the rats all over his face and threatening to have the rats chew out his brains and his cheeks and his eyeballs.
And his tongue.
The tongue. It was very graphic and very icky. So after that, we went to lunch, and then now we're back again.
And apparently, so did Winston. He is now at the Chestnut Tree Cafe.
Yeah, and he is enjoying himself, and he sat at his usual corner. We find out that he had grown fatter since they released him, so apparently he is free as a bird. But, and that he got a better job, a better paying job, and he's playing chess.
He's pretty liquored up on the victory gin.
He has lots of victory gin. They just keep giving it to him. And then all of a sudden, he's totally brainwashed, and he writes down in the, dust or with his finger, he writes 2 + 2 is 5, equals 5. And then Julia's back, and they talk to each other. They have no interest in what Winston is doing anymore, so everything seems really good.
They even met up at the park together.
Julia was able to meet him at the park, and he could see her, her scars that were hidden by her hair across her forehead and temples, so they must have done some fucked up shit to her.
I was thinking lobotomy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. He didn't attempt to kiss her. It was almost like a closure farewell, because she says, oh, I betrayed you. He says, I betrayed you. And they just kind of mimic each other for some reason, echo each other what they're saying. All you care about is yourself, so do you. And we must meet again. Yes, we must meet again. And they just kind of go their own ways.
But then purposefully, when they say they're going to meet again, Winston kind of lets her get lost in the crowd very easily, and he goes the other way really quickly.
Yeah, and then her body and stuff is so different. He looks back and he can't even find her again, because they're so different at different spots in their lives, and they've both been through so much.
Yeah, her silhouette is completely different. Yeah,
physically, emotionally, everything. And then he hears a music, a song, and it says, under the spreading chestnut tree, I sold you and you sold me. Did we read that in the book somewhere before? I feel like that was somewhere in the book before.
Well, the Chestnut Tree is the Chestnut Tree Cafe.
Yeah, but I feel like it was a foreboding before. Yeah. I had a thought, though, and I wonder if they released Winston because he finally gave up Julia. So you know how that was the one nice thing that O'Brien said was yep, you never gave up Julia, you're right.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he finally does give up Julia, then he gets released. Isn't that weird?
But then they also let Julia go, so that's weird, because why isn't her face being ripped apart by rats already, and her somewhere either dead or disfigured from the torture of the rats eating her face? So
yeah, I don't...
That's what I was thinking, how is it possible?
Yeah, so...
It was a little confusing to me.
Yeah, this last little chapter is a little confusing. It's a little blasé, and it's a little of it's not the plot twist that I was anticipating this whole book. So he talks about his work a little bit, his new job within the Ministry of Truth, and it says that they did a little work, or what was called work. He had been appointed to a subcommittee, which had sprouted from one of the innumerable committees dealing with minor difficulties that arose in the compilation of the 11th edition of the Newspeak Dictionary. So it's just like they're working just to work, and it's very just mundane, and they meet up every so often, like every couple days, and then they inadvertently fight, argue, don't know what they're bickering about, and then just go their separate ways until the next time that they have to meet up again to decide if a comma needs to go inside brackets or not.
Yes, and it also states that there are 4 others on the committee, all of them persons similar to himself. So I started thinking, are these other people that were released, like prisoners, but they're all kind of like...
Higher up?
No, they had like some kind of lobotomy or something, and they're kind of stupid now. And so like they put them all together in this group where they think they're like doing work,
something, but they're not.
But they're really not, because they're all just liquored up on gin.
Yeah.
And just like...
I know, I have it here that he's turned into an alcoholic because he just keeps drinking and drinking and drinking.
But I mean, after going through something like 101, I think that I would become an alcoholic as well.
Yeah.
Especially, he'd probably be haunted by the rats, even though they didn't eat his face.
That would still, like, PTSD, like, super bad.
Traumatic, anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you go through anything like that, I'm sure, like, could you imagine a rat, like, about to eat your face? And
It'd be like a near-death experience.
It is. It would be, for sure. So an uncalled memory floats into his mind, and I guess it happens every so often for him, but he tries not to. And this is a memory of when he was about 9 or 10, right before his mom and little sister left, and he's being a brat like he usually was at that time, wanting chocolate and toys and pissed off that he has to deal with the little sister. And mom goes and buys him a game, and they come back and they're playing and they're happy together and everything is great. And then he's like, oh, these are false memories. So they're not real memories. So O'Brien has brainwashed him so much that he thinks that it's all fake, when that probably really did happen. They probably were very happy together, and that probably did happen. And then all of a sudden, the telescreen, while he's in this restaurant, the telescreen goes off, and they all run outside, and they're saying that the news had run around the streets like magic, and it's almost like the tone of his voice is so happy.
Well, he has been anticipating this bulletin from the... We didn't say this in the beginning,
he's
been anticipating this bulletin from the telescreen, and every time the music changes, he like looks at the telescreen really like... okay, what is it going to say?
In anticipation and happiness, giddiness.
Yeah, and then it's just new music, and he's like, oh.
Where in the beginning of the book, he would be like, oh, God, another minutes of, hey, oh, my God, what does the telescreen want now? Oh, my God. And now he's, like, part of Big Brother.
He's excited about it.
Yeah, so it's like he's part of the crowd. He's, like, running out, and he's part of the riots, the crowds. He's you know, and he's yelling, victory, victory, victory. It's just crazy.
Yeah, because they had announced the control of all the entirety of Africa, which bring the war to the victory.
The end, or, you know. So, Winston, sitting in a blissful dream, paid no attention as his glass was filled up. He was not running or cheering any longer. And this is where it gets fucked up, guys. Hold on to your butts. He was back in the ministry of love with everything forgiven. His soul white as snow. He was in the public dock, confessing everything, implicating everybody. He was walking down the white tilted corridor with the feeling of walking in sunlight and an armed guard at his back. The long hoped for bullet was entering his brain. So, this entire chapter was a fucking dream or like a psychosis state of mind. Hallucination of like him just coming to terms with and having closure with his family, with Julia, with his present state of mind, with everything that had happened. He certifiably finally went fucking insane.
Yeah, because he never left. And he
never left the Ministry of Love. He never got released. He never got fat. He never got a new job. He never became the alcoholic. He didn't do anything. So, 2 gin-scented tears trickled down the sides of his nose, but it was all right. Everything was all right. The struggle was finished. He had won the victory over himself. He loved Big Brother. The end.
And we all know what happens when you love Big Brother.
You die.
That's when you get the bullet in the back of your head.
Yep, as soon as you're white, as your soul is white, you're pure, you love Big Brother. Then O'Brien fixed him.
So he must have gotten shot in the back of the head, even though it doesn't say it, it implies it by the fact that he loved Big Brother.
And it said the bullet in the back of the head.
Well, he was anticipating it, but it didn't actually say it happened.
Oh my gosh. So that's the end of that. And we just, I can't wait to watch the movie. I am full of anticipation for that, to see how, like, all of the things that we might have read it wrong and we might have thought they were someplace else. Can't wait to see that ending of him being in a dream and how they're going to put him back.
Yeah.
And how that all plays out. I can't wait to see all of it. I'm very excited to see this movie. How about you?
I'm very excited too, because I just really want to see like the characters come to life and see how Julia and Winston are depicted, and just little things like you said that we may have missed, or just to see things just come to life more. Yeah,
from a different perspective, because I'm sure it is with
No, go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, it is with every book, like the way that you read it might be different than the way that I read it and perceive it. I might think of Julia as like totally different looking than what you think of Julia. You know what I mean? Like, you think about like Harry Potter and all those books, and just any book that they turn into a movie. It's always a little different, and there's always a creative discretion that the screenwriters and the directors put a spin on it to make it their own.
Oh, definitely. The thought that I was having when you were trying to say that is just that the only part that it's just going to be kind of hard to watch is when they actually get to the rat part. It's going to be
I'm hoping that we can close our eyes, fast forward. I don't know. We watched Knock at the Cabin, or Knock at the Cabin.
Knock at the Cabin, I believe.
Yeah, we watched that last night, and I definitely closed my eyes when things were occurring.
When things were occurring, though, one thing because I do not like watching scary movies or even suspenseful movies or anything that shows, like, blood and guts and gore. Like, it's just not my thing. But I do like when certain things happened in the movie. They didn't really show it, they just implied it, and then you did see, like, red for blood, but, like, it didn't actually show the physical act.
Yeah, I like that. I did. I like that a lot, that it didn't physically show.
Ew, I can't. Like, I don't want that image in my head. It's gonna, like, haunt me forever.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't do well with that stuff.
Yeah, I used to do better, but I don't know. So, anyways, that is the end of the book, and we hope you enjoyed reading the book with us, reviewing the book, listening to us talk about the book, and we will do one more episode about the movie and just our thoughts on it, and what's the same, what's the difference, what we're surprised at.
Yeah, and the only thing, too, I want to say, too, is I'm thinking about, like, how this relates to now, you know? Like, I still don't get what the fucking point would be. That's all I gotta say. Like, I mean, I get, like, how aspects relate to our daily lives now, but why follow someone for so long just to brainwash them into what you want them to believe? They believe it.
And then you kill them.
Then you just to kill them. That I don't understand.
No.
I don't understand the killing part. Like, why not brainwash them, have them, like, on your team, so to speak, like, for the party, and then make them one of the higher-ups or something, and just keep, like, building that.
Yeah, like, rehabilitate them.
But then I guess it wouldn't be that special to be a higher-up if you could just get rehabilitated. I don't know. They want to keep that number small. They don't want so many people in that position.
Maybe they're worried of retaliation and then pretending that they're rehabilitated when they aren't, but I think it's pretty hard to pretend with the telescreen and O'Brien and everything.
Especially because there's thought crime, like they can read your mind, and they can even see what's going on in your dreams, so you're not really, like, safe anywhere. Not even in your subconscious, so... Yeah. Again, what's the point?
Yeah, it's so weird.
I just don't get that
I don't either, so...
But maybe the movie will make sense, and...
Yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff that we did miss that the movie will clarify for us, so...
Yeah. Yep. I'm excited to see the movie.
Me too. Okay, well, thank you for listening.
And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. All of our social media is Conspiracies Unlocked.
And don't forget to email us at conspiraciesunlocked@gmail.com. Thank you. Bye.